An anti-ICE protester in LA has been brutally run over by a moving car. Yes, the drivers of Los Angeles are fed up after weeks of protests disrupting their commute around the city. They've now resorted to Trump's FAFO strategy, simply ramming the protesters if they refuse to move out of the way. Online commentators blasted the protesters for their selfishness, with this person saying, "I'm just going to go on record saying you shouldn't jump in front of moving vehicles." Is saying that controversial? This commentator agreed, saying people are reaching their breaking points. This will only get worse. A similar incident happened in Chicago over the weekend.
There's the red car that's coming in, and you'll see people trying to get out of the way, others standing in front, and others beating the car, trying to slow it down or stop it. And then you'll see the officer right there as it passed. There were officers lined up there, but the car was able to escape and then take off around the loop. And ultimately we tracked it all the way to Clark and Cicero, where our chopper Skywatch was unable to catch up with it. Cermak, sorry. And at that point, as we were talking live when this was happening, it is really hard to follow these vehicles.
And again in California, where a driver pumped the gas after a group of violent protesters became physical with his car. And over in Seattle, a driver rammed through a group of protesters after they surrounded the car. And whilst average citizens on the ground are taking matters into their own hands to teach the protesters a lesson, the mainstream media are only fueling the fire by promoting the protests across the country.
Now, the CBS News Network has been called out for promoting the No King's Day protest, seemingly promoting their merchandise on their Twitter feed. You just mentioned the media, but how much responsibility do you think the media bear for the chaos going on in the US right now?
Well, at least they're not hiding it anymore. Their rampant bias and blatant partisanship when they're actually just promoting the merch of an anti-Trump protest. It's actually laughable, but at the same time, it's sad because, listen, I consider myself a journalist. The media plays a very important role, and they've discredited themselves with this kind of rank bias, and it's really, really unfortunate that they've chosen to squander their credibility with so much of the American public at the exact time when, when you have a president doing so much. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't, but Trump is doing so much every day. You need an honest and fair media to report on it, but we don't really have that these days, at least not in large part.
No, well, when you've got the media stirring things up the way they do and quite often misrepresenting what's going on. We've all heard about the peaceful protests while rioters are going crazy in the background, plus politicians ramping up the rhetoric. It's no wonder there's major problems there. Brad, thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
And as well as the mainstream media, progressive celebrities joined the disruption, which only encouraged the lunacy further.
Remember Kamala and that sham process? We certainly do. And there were plenty of celebrity idiots at these rallies, including the dangerously stupid Mark Ruffalo.
Likes of Putin and Netanyahu and Kim Jong-un of the world.
Also at the rally were the likes of Susan Sarandon, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Glenn Close, and the unfunniest man on the planet, Jimmy Kimmel. Sadly, Eva Longoria couldn't be there, but she recorded this message earlier.
Every time I try to record a message, I just start crying, and then I don't want it to be about me and my emotions about it, but it's just so inhumane, hard to watch. It's hard to witness from afar. I can't imagine what it's like to be in Los Angeles right now. I can't believe it's happening in Austin, Texas. I can't believe it's happening all over the country. The comments and people's reactions to it is really so surprising to me because it is un-American.
She's shocked by people's reactions. These people really do exist in a parallel universe. The deportation program, as we discussed at length last week, is enormously popular. Trump campaigned on it, he won on it, he has a mandate, and the group who have swung most strongly in support of his tough immigration policies are immigrants themselves, legal ones.
And in a bizarre twist, it's not only the fed-up drivers turning on the riders, but the rioters are turning on themselves.
But the question has to be asked, what is it with Democrats and violence? They cannot even hold a dumb democracy-denying rally without turning on each other. Let's check what happened in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh my God, that's a gun. That's a gun. Come on. Come on. Get out. Get over here. Shay, come here.
According to police, a man who was believed to be part of a peacekeeping team for the No Kings protest shot at another person at that rally, Arturo Gamboa, who was brandishing a rifle for some reason. And this No Kings peacekeeping team member managed to strike both the rifleman and an innocent bystander who tragically later died at hospital.